sheds. I don't know if those storage sheds are of anything of value, or it's a moot point.
No, it's, hopefully that's going to be a pavilion at some point. We're working on turning the hockey rink, what used to be the hockey rink, into basketball and pickleball courts.
Okay. I think in that scenario, there's two options then. The Verconics, putting it on a mast, which could be a pole, whether it's temporary or permanent, and putting the trail cams there that could face the park as well as the bathrooms. And that would provide the alerting. If people are there at a certain time, whenever people set off the alerts. Yes, during the day, if you keep the alerts on, it would show frequency of people, but that's also good because it shows you the volume of people coming into the park on a regular basis, so you can have that data to take a look at.
So how is the alert alerted? Like, how does the police know, or how does someone know?
It would be, you have a couple of scenarios. We have a dashboard, the actual platform itself, it would provide an alert to the platform. The platform can go to a text message or it can go to an email.
Oh, okay.
And that text message, so say it's a picture of somebody trying to get into the bathroom at 2:30 in the morning, it would be a picture of that person at the bathroom door. It also would be more frequent. So like as an example, if you know, if somebody's at my front door and we have UV, which is another camera system, but because it's a consumer system, it alerts anytime anything goes by. Let's say somebody's at my front door, okay, great, I hear the bang and then it's gone. So I'm not home and I know that there was a bang and I just kind of ignore it. But if it's consistent, like, you know, if you hear 4 or 5 within a couple minutes, I'm like, what's going on? And then you see like the dog got out or something happened. And that would be the premise of the same scenario, that if there's one ping at a certain hour where usually nothing would happen, it'd be worthwhile to take a look at. But if something's happening over and over again and it's not a Saturday afternoon, why is that happening? And it gives you the ability to take a look at the most recent shots taken of the trail cam.
Okay, so like in a high density time, the things would not be happening. You wouldn't be getting the alerts, or would you be?
Well, you would have to silence the alerts, because you would be getting the alerts at any time of day.
So it's like the blink camera, how you get them all day long regardless, okay?
Yeah.
Would it, can it go to more than one phone?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Whoever has access to you can have it set up so that it could be access for town hall, village hall, for the police department, for the parks department. It could be, anybody has access to it.
Okay.
And the data, what is important to note, just with all those Google commercials you see always, you know, whatever that commercial is, that the Google one, the guy over your shoulder. We don't do that. We don't, any data is your data. We don't collect any of the data. We don't house the data. It's all proprietary and you own it. The other scenario, if it was going to be a full-blown camera solution, and again, I'm not an engineer, I'm a salesperson. I worked with my engineer on this though. And this was based on his suggestions as well. 2 cameras to be able to take a look at, and again, this is Vern Allen, to take a look at the parking lot and a full park view. 2 cameras down between the bathroom and where the skate park used to be. These are all and they would be connected to a power source. And then 2 cameras, and these views you're looking at, I just pulled off of Google Maps. That's why I said something about a big splash pool. That was on Google Maps. And then the dog park, adding 2 more cameras.
How's that working out?
That was from this biggest grant that we never got.
So again, these are recommendations in terms of being able to take a look at what's going on within the park environment and this would be more of a streaming video scenario. The full quote for the 7 cameras, all in 7 cameras for both parks, Memorial Park, Vern Allen Park, under the trail cam scenario would be $645 per month. That equates to about $93 per camera per month, and it's not just for a camera, it's for the software that you get with it, it's the real-time support, real-time alerts. Installation as well as shipping, those are estimates. The installation is approximately $31.50 because it's like mobile, it's a mobile unit. We could, you know, determine if somebody within the village would have the capacity to be able to install it, or if you want to get a vendor to install it, we can help with that, and that's an approximation of the install cost. And then shipping about $500. The UIG and traditional camera, again, it's a much more robust solution. That's when it's about, for purposes of this exercise, it was about $177 per camera. and that equates to $15.93 per month for 5 years. Installation would be more as well. The installation is about $15,000, and shipping, because there's more hardware, I estimated about $1,000. So it gives you ideas of what we can work
How
with.
soon does the availability?
The trail cam, we'd probably be able to get sets up within the next 45 to 60 days easily. I'd say even 45 days would be fair. The UIG traditional camera, I'd say that'd probably be about 60 to 90 days.
Can you just repeat the first one, how the monthly cost?
Sure, and I can send you this as well.
Yeah, I
after
just
that.
want to see it now.
Yeah,
Here.
sure. The monthly cost per camera for the Reconyx, which is the cellular solar surveillance, is $645 for the 7 cameras, and that was about $92 or $93 a month. I forget off the top of my head.
Okay.
So that was the extent of it, and I'm sorry that it did not extend nicely here.
I don't, something, it has to talk to each other.
Yeah, it was doing something, but it wasn't quite doing what it needed to. So I hope that was kind of an education and insightful into what we
What's
could
the
do.
lifespan of the cameras?
Can I took the lights on?
Yeah.
Well, we'll say the camera, under the OpEx model that we support, if the camera was to fail within that 5-year window, we would replace it. Now, if it's
Okay.
damaged or somebody steals it or breaks it, then you'd be liable for that. But
Okay.
like in the model, in the quote I put together, I proposed buy one, get one. So 7 cameras, so it would be buy 3, get 3 free, and then it's half off the 7th camera.
Okay. And what's the clarity like on the cameras?
It's like a traditional trail cam.
I mean, would police be able to identify somebody on it?
But you'd be able to see who it was. I think that's always, I'm not sure what the legalities are of it, but you would be able to tell if, you and I were about the same age, have long hair.
Yeah.
If it's at night, hey, was it her, that might be hard to tell.
Okay.
But if it's us versus another person that has distinct, traits, you'd be able to tell the difference, what you're on the lookout for. But it's the same thing as like if you see it, if you see a
That's not
video,
right.
like when you're watching the news, it's a regular occurrence now, like where these 2 people robbed this
Yeah.
place and you see it, so could it be somebody? Yeah, but it's hard to,
Okay.
we
So it's more of a deterrent and,
Then what about?
I guess to
the-
alert the
the
police
real
something
cameras?
is going on.
What, are they like 4K? Like the
yeah,
real
they could be
cameras?
4K,
So you get much more better video quality.
right, better video quality, farther distance. It's a more robust scenario. We can do a more in-depth demo of what that camera image would look like
Just
and the
curious,
demo.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I wanted,
It's gonna be big.
it would be.
No, sure.
yeah.
I mean, I've seen trail cams and to me they're not,
Yeah, they're very fuzzy to me.
yeah.
I'd say it's better quality. We also have, it'd be an upgrade to the proposed one. We have trail cams they're labeled as LPR, which is license plate recognition cameras, which are higher quality evening cameras. So we can take a look at the difference between those 2. And that'd be a little bit higher than the solar surveillance camera I shared. But ultimately, for the true difference, you'd want to take a look at the streaming camera.
Is there any way you can send us, email us video of what those look like with their different cameras?
Yeah, my boss is the VP of engineering as well as sales, and when I asked for that in the past, I'll do it, I can send it to you. But his philosophy was that I was thinking like I could make myself look like Cindy Crawford, or I could make myself, and that was his point. You could make a video look great and say that it was from a certain camera. You could make another trail cam look not as high quality. So, I'd send you what I'd send you with the transparency of, yeah, it's real, but just know that, it might not be apples to apples if somebody else would send you something similar.
Gotcha.
But I understand the premise because I asked for the same exact thing.
And this is also for real live alerts so that if the police have this, they would see right away, oh geez, something's going on at the park and it's
Somebody in the dog park at 2
midnight,
a.m.
nobody should be there.
Right.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
The server's not required because it's cloud-based?
Yes.
And what is the time frame of storage on these?
The
Pictures is 90 days, or is it something we can change?
pictures, I know stored locally for the cameras itself, when it's stored locally, that's 30 days. For the trail cam, I know it's stored in the dashboard, I wanna say it's, at least 30 days.
So if we wanted to have demos, how long would that take to?
To coordinate?
Yeah.
Oh, we can set it up for next week, later this week, next week.
You know, fortunately, our parks are used every day,
Yeah.
which is great. So I don't know if we could weigh one over the other. I think we'd have to look at two or three,
Yeah.
you know. And if we were to, you know, Woodfield, being that baseball season is winding down, that gets less usage, but there is a playground there. So we would have to treat all parks the same way.
But could we roll it out in a way where for an Allen Park is used more, start with that and see?
Well, I think that's what she suggested, is
Okay.
that we try
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
see how we like it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's no cost benefit to do 3 at one time, or it's just to add it up?
Ultimately, if for the 7 cameras or, you know, the costs will go down the more you buy in
Mhm.
volume, but ultimately, we would adjust. So say you start with 3 today, it's somewhere between, on the high end, what the low end right now is $92, it'd be $100 a month. So it's not huge. Plus, as you expand, you can just adjust.
Gotcha.
And one of the things that we had talked about was, just for argument's sake, you start with the solar surveillance, which is more than that trail cam, and you realize, hey, you know what, you get a grant or you have more funds, if you want to upgrade, then we could always talk about how to fold your existing equipment or your existing contract into a new contract, and you could always repurpose those cameras because they are mobile, you'd be able to move them from one location to another. We have one police department in upstate New York that does that on a regular basis now for surveillance. They take the trail cams and they're using that on a regular basis. And I will be speaking to them next week. That was just a pilot that they completed, so I can ask them what their feedback was, and if we have questions for them, I can connect you.
For example, for that scenario, could we maybe have like a web conference where we can log into their program and see their live cameras?
They have one right now. Yeah, I'm sure if they approve that. Otherwise, we have a similar demo that we'll be able to show you that would be comparable to that. But if they're okay with that, yeah.
Where are you based at?
I'm based out of 26 Fort. Our company is headquartered in Fort Mill, South Carolina. It's just south of Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah.
Clark Street.
I'm thrilled to be out in front of people. I'm just stuck in Mark Street. The 3 dogs making me crazy.
Is that so commercial? Yeah, we have 3 parks right now, 4th one hopefully soon. Wells, like I said, wastewater treatment plant, all of these things have to be monitored. We found when the water tower at, I think it was Pride's Crossing, they found a stroller in the water tower. So, and someone had to climb up the ladder with the stroller and throw it in.
That's scary.
Yeah. What's that?
So hopefully it was empty.
I hope not.
No,
No, the
No,
stroller.
the
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
I'm thinking you hope not.
The stroller was empty. I think there was also a
See how
dog.
rumors start, do you
Yes.
see?
You know, so we do have a lot of property in the village that we have to monitor. Like I said, unfortunate for us, fortunate for the company, you know, but that's where we are now.
And this was just for the parks? This didn't include DPW and the storm?
No, but it could be the same
Wastewater
thing.
treatment.
So I would think the wastewater, because it is fenced in all the way around, we just have fences installed. But I think there's parts of that need to be monitored by a camera. Our wells certainly have to be monitored by cameras.
Well, nobody really necessary to be near the well, except.
Well, it's locked, it's not
Right,
a gate,
I mean,
but,
if
you
somebody's
know.
near the well, why are you near the well? So that'll be good.
Exactly. If somebody could do whatever they want to in the well, we got a problem.
That's what I'm saying.
We could always use our hands.
demo guy.
So I think from today's discussion, what I could do is set up a demo of the platform. And when you're talking about, in the example, that, again, for argument's sake, the village starts with the parks, and then he wants to do the wells and the wastewater treatment plant. And it'd all be, we could set it up so it could be separate platforms or one platform where there's like, you know, the mayor can see everything across the village, and then certain entities, the PD can see everything across the village, and then different entities, whether it's parks or,
I think we should prioritize, I would do Memorial Park first, as opposed to Burn Harbor.
Whatever the chief thinks.
Your call.
so we could do the demo next week and then determine how many cameras to start with and share the updated proposal once you're comfortable with the platform, and have my engineer answer additional questions. I'm sure more will come up.
So if we started at Memorial Park, we could do demo with mounting the camera to the well house, because that's there already.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what that brings us. There's also the playground in front of the Lions Den is in front of that. And I don't know if it would reach the monuments.
I don't think so, because it was about 110 feet. It was over 110
Yes.
feet, so I don't want to say you won't see anything, but it wouldn't be something I'm comfortable with saying you'd be able to see
Right.
who it is.
So
Or,
we would have another one looking back at that first camera.
and that's where you're talking about additional poles being set
Yes.
up behind monuments, so maybe depending upon where the pole is, it could be put on there.
And what's the height suggestion for, or
That'd be an
that's something the
engineering
engineer would come
question.
out?
You'd want to put it up high enough so that somebody can't reach it. I've heard crazy stories about, you know, even things like 25, 30 feet up in the air that people were able to break it and take it down. What we sell it with is an enclosure, so it's not just a trail cam stuck to something. It's actually enclosed in a metal encasement, which is ruggedized. And it wasn't our solution, but it was just a trail cam that somebody ripped down and ripped the card out, the card that, you know, didn't provide the real-time alerts. So ours would be more difficult to rip off or take down or even break if they throw anything at it. But to that, my point being, if somebody wanted to climb up 30 feet and get it down, they're gonna find a way, but if we make it very difficult, I think you'd want it high enough up so it wouldn't be easy to get to.
Well, at Memorial Park, he brought his own, Sawzall.
Yeah.
And we laugh now at it,
We used
but
our
it
outlet
wasn't.
too.
And he used a, was it battery? It
Oh, it
battery.
was? Good. Hope the battery died.
Yeah.
He wanted the eagle from the top, right? Is that what he wanted? So they just got the pole and got the eagle.
Yeah, so don't quite understand why people do what they do sometimes, but,
I'm still trying to figure that out.
but yeah, under normal circumstances, I don't think it's interesting, you know, the scenario of additional cameras being put in, it's for surveillance and the safety and security of the community, and that's ultimately what it's for. So people who don't mind it are the ones that know that it's there for their benefit. That's kind of how I view it. So again, I hope this was helpful. I can follow up
Yeah,
with you.
very careful.
Very helpful, thank you.
I'll share with you the presentation. If anybody wanted a peek, I'll hang out just to see how the rest of the meeting goes, and then I'll follow up with you for next week. Thank you.
Thank you. You can stay here, the meeting's over. Thank you. All right, so if you could email that to us.
Actually, yeah, I'll just do it now while I'm here.
Yeah, I can print it out.
No, Jimmy.
Any questions?
That was neat.
Questions? Okay. So we wait to hear back from the schools
On the meeting dates? I think the lease is still waiting, so.
so we can just move forward with that. But I still think it's important that we have a work session, a regular meeting here, and these are just extra meetings.
Yeah, a separate meeting.
Strictly.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no questions?
No.
Motion to